Welcome back! My name is NujumKey. Welcome to episode 2 of what I'm going to call Greenlight Gathering. Ooh, look at the fancy thumbnail now. So yeah, last time we talked about Seedscape and 3D RPG, both of which I thought were interesting games. I'm actually going to follow up on these because check out this announcement that was made on the 3D RPG page. It's been released. You might know this if you saw my Twitter last week when I made the first video. As soon as I actually released the video talking about what 3D RPG would have to be really good, it came out, which is kind of hilarious. I haven't bought it yet, so I'm not necessarily an authority, but hey, it's $10, so if you're interested to see if anything I said earlier about RPGs matter, feel free to check it out. I do really quickly want to actually take a glimpse at the comment and the most helpful ones. 30 positive, 6 negative seems pretty good overall. I love voxel art, but I don't like Minecraft. So he really liked how the style was used in a different way. Game has potential, and then it's brilliant. He has 8 hours on record, so I'm assuming it's gotta be pretty good. As far as an RPG goes, obviously RPGs rely a lot on exploration and world. It's flat, basic, and empty. See, that's what I was a little bit worried about, because with RPGs, you have to understand that RPGs are built around having a lot of content, in the form of having a lot of places to explore, a lot of parts of the world you can interact with, right? Although someone up here, I believe, said something about like the battle system being kind of interesting. Some very contrasting opinions on the game, but it is a fairly small sample size. 36 reviews and 83% of it being positive. I'd say it's an overall win. I'm glad to see RPG Maker doing well. I will definitely be checking it out. It is kind of funny. The comment down below mentioned that it's empty and it couldn't think of anything creative to build on, so it just called himself 3D RPG. Hey, we will go back to my followed items and we will actually talk about a new game, Polytowns. So before I really start, I do want to mention that you might notice I'm only doing one game this week. Let me know what you guys think. Should I do one game or two? Because there's so many cool games I want to talk about. But for one thing, it makes the thumbnail kind of awkward. But also, it's just kind of easier for me to do these if it's just one. And I feel like there's a lot more I can talk about. Check it out, it's a video game and it looks adorable before anything else. Now, the first thing you'll notice is that these seem to be in a sky. I'm not entirely sure what the premise for that is, but I do know that these are all sections, zones, whatever you call them. So this is a city builder type of game, and I love these because they play a lot like management survival games, but without the stress of, oh, if you do something wrong, you die, right? Which I love a lot. So the release date is going to be early 2016. That's actually not too far away, hopefully. It's created by Red Phoenix Studios. This I've not actually heard of. Steam level 0, get wrecked. So what is Polytowns? It's a town builder. And you start with a little zone, and then you upgrade your houses and buildings, and you maintain your town. This is a concept that I think an indie game could do pretty well. It's just that it takes a lot of logistics, and if you're not necessarily the best coder, it can be hard to get all of the little pieces working together, because having buildings upgrade replaced by other buildings, of course I'm speaking from personal experience, so maybe other people find it easier than I did, but I tried executing on this type of work when I'm in my own code. Of course, I am not a professional programmer. I did not finish a video game and put it on Steam Greenlight, so hey, take my advice with a grain of salt. But this type of game, if you have the logistics down, I feel like it'd be much easier to build than like an RPG, for example. So what do town builders find most of their enjoyment off of? Well, for one thing, seeing something grow and managing your resources well and like constantly expanding. You see numbers go up. when you're doing well, and maybe more importantly, and this might not be intuitive, having something go wrong and fixing it. Right? This is something that people who play City Skylines is very experienced with. City Skyline was great in that it had almost everything go wrong for you at some point. You know, your sewers would get clogged, you would run out of room for wind turbines, you would have to start maintaining coal, you would run out of space to use your garbage, and you would have to like panic, expand, your highways would get clogged up because you didn't have the right micromanaging directions. People might not always like that it exists, but the fact is that these types of games will get really stale if nothing ever changes for the player, unless you have some kind of mode that mixes up the gameplay a little bit. If the entire game is just going to be grow a town, and just from day 1 you just watch it get slightly bigger, day 2 it's slightly bigger, day 3 it's slightly bigger, ooh, a new piece of thing to put on the map, maybe like a monument, maybe like a park, a hospital, a fire department, whatever it is. Like, you either have to make a lot of unique buildings and upgrades, which isn't too hard to do, but it is a lot of work you have to put in, or you need to have something that can go wrong, so that the player is sort of more invested in a town. So those are my thoughts on what Polytowns will need to do to succeed. Wow, this is actually going to be a very short video. I guess we may as well read this out. So you start by building a few houses and resource buildings. You must assign villagers to the resource building in order to gain resources. Tax, building, upkeep, food consumption are updated. Once you're happy with your town, you choose to start a new one or sit back, relax, and let your existing town thrive. This seems kind of deceptive. Like I said earlier, city builders can't just be let it grow forever. They need to have something go wrong at some point. But I was noticing earlier, where is it? Is it this one? Yeah, here it is. So you see it like rains and snows. I have to imagine at the very least that rain or snow will affect your citizens in some way. And I have to also imagine that there's no way to predict rain or snow coming. So that's like a really easy way for the developer to induce some kind of difficulty into their game. Because you don't want a game without any challenge. I mean, some of you might. But I don't want a game that doesn't have any challenge. Created by Matthew Vale. Well, good luck to you, Matthew Vale. I wish you the best. The words are hard. Matthew Vale, I wish you the best of luck on your game. This is one that I'm also, again, more likely to check out in the future. So when it's released, I will keep you guys up to date. Thank you all for watching. My name is NujumKey. Next week we will continue to be covering Greenlight games here at Greenlight Gathering. Goodbye.